No! The lid came off of some glitter. I got glitter all over my carpet. Oh no. Is it done? Is it done? Nope. Nope. Keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going. Hi, my name is Emily. I've been cosplaying for 11 years and sewing for even longer, and I am devastated about the Joann's closure. Yeah, devastated is, I think, the correct word for that. Also, we're having some floor time in my living room because this is a crafting channel, and in order to create the crafting content, I have to do the crafting, and that turns the craft room into a total disaster, and I don't want to be in there right now. I simply don't. Honestly, I've been getting most of my fabric online since 2020, but man, when you needed something quick, there just wasn't anything better. Also, having the Yaya Han cosplay fabrics really accessible, being able to thread match super easily, and also the people at the cut counter were always so nice. I have never ever had a bad experience with anybody at the cut counter. So Joann's has been in liquidation for a couple of months now, and I have not been. I walked into my local Joann's, I think the day after they announced that all of the stores were closing, and it was so busy that I walked out and did not go back until a couple of days ago because it's getting near the end. Surprisingly, my Joann's still had a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna show you what I bought and at a discount. Something I will say, this is all money that I have that has been earmarked for cosplay specifically. I would not recommend panic buying for no reason. I tried to be thoughtful about what I bought and do so with a project in mind. I didn't always stick to that though. So some of the stuff you'll see is going to be in an upcoming cosplay, and some of it I bought because I'm a magpie. But this video is going to serve as a haul and also as a peek on some of my upcoming cosplay projects. The fabric is the most exciting part, so I think I'll start with that first. So I got this whole bolt. It's 8 yards of just quilting cotton. This is going to turn into a hoop skirt. I really want to cosplay the level 20 pirate jester, so I thought this would be a really cute color, and also the plain cotton was the cheapest by far still. Going along with pirate jester, the Casa collection was deeply discounted, so I have 16 yards of this pink tulle. This is going to be a petticoat and then maybe the sleeves. I walked up to the cut counter and just said rest of the bolt to probably the majority of fabrics I bought, but it was a decent price and 16 yards. I hope is gonna be enough. We'll see. Then I think I have 3-ish yards of this. This is just more Casa collection, pink satin. Again, pirate jester. It's really pretty. The cosplay section of my particular store was deeply picked over. The only things left were like the scale fabric and like bright silver, stuff I wasn't going to need. And I didn't want to just buy like the cosplay specific fabric just because it was available and at a discount. So if you are gonna go to Joann's, just be thoughtful about what you're gonna buy. You don't have to buy it just because it's on sale. This, I don't have a particular project in mind. It is just a nylon netting. You can use this as a strength layer in corsets. It's not ideal for a strength layer in corsets, but you can use it, and mostly it was $2 a yard. So I have 4 yards of this, and I think it will come in handy for structure on a lot of different pieces where I also need that structure to be very lightweight, because this has no stretch to it at all. The white balance is gonna be so thrown off. Now we're gonna get into the next project I'm gonna work on, which this is in the future. The next fabrics I'm going to show you are going to be for yet another Aloy cosplay. I have a problem. I'm not gonna fix it. And it's the Oseram Explorer armor from Forbidden West. It's so cute. I like yellow. Clearly, it's just so cute. I've been wanting to make it, and luckily there were some really good fabrics available for that. Starting with just this plain white linen. This was a bucket list fabric for me. I was like, there is no way at the Joann's clearance sale that there will be 100% linen on a bolt on the shelf. And lo and behold, there was. So I also have this textured cotton. This is 100% cotton. Normally, I am not too concerned with the fiber content of my fabrics unless I am trying to dye them, which these I will be dyeing. So I was glad to find a couple of natural fibers hanging around. This, not a natural fiber, bright yellow, but for the same project. They had probably 20 bolts of this. Crazy. It's a stretch fabric. It's like a rayon polyester blend, and it has these cool slubs in it to kind of mimic silk. Stretchy, lightweight. I think I got also 3 yards of this. And then just some stretch chenille. Nope. What's this called? Let me consult the sacred texts. Crepe. It's just a white stretch crepe. Nothing too crazy, but I like it for bandages because it has just like the slightest texture. And now these are the fabrics that I have no particular project in mind for, but they were very pretty. And my favorite part of going to the Joann Fabrics was going to the formal wear section and touching all of the beaded lace and imagining what I wanted to make out of it. And this was deeply discounted, and so I bought it. What can I say? This, not a special occasion fabric, but so cool. It's an embroidered tulle. Kind of looks like crocheted granny squares. It's not because it's embroidered, but it's stunning. I love it. Very rarely do I make normal wearable clothes, but I think a shirt made out of this for like the spring and summer would be so cute. So I bought the rest of the bolt on that. Now for the real Magpie fabrics. This was on a roll, 3 yard minimum, only 1.5 yards left. But it's this really pretty beaded lace. I believe this is bridal fabric. Speaking of bridal fabric, I bought a lot of lace for my own wedding dress from Joann Fabrics. And I'm not gonna be able to get it again. That's so sad. Damn. At least I have this really pretty beaded blush pink fabric to remember her by. Oh, it's so pretty. Only 1.5 yards, so I can't do anything too crazy with it, but I love the sparkle. Got another beaded and embroidered lace. Just this beautiful, beautiful floral. Oh, sequins, florals, a dress, a something. It's so stunning. I think I have 4 yards of this, so I can do a little bit more with it, but so pretty. I think this could absolutely be used in a cosplay just to make it look a little bit fancier. And now the last fancy fabric, which is kind of simple, but honestly, so pretty. It's just this yellow embroidered daisy lace. Something I think would be really beautiful with this is to lay it over top of some of my leftover corset mesh from Fallon and create like a nude illusion corset. But with this beautiful yellow, I think it's so hobbity and pretty, I couldn't leave it behind. So, rest of the bolt. I'm dying to know what your Joann's has left. I have about 3 near me in different levels of closure. And I know in some parts of the country, they're closer to being fully closed. And in others, they're like a little bit slower. I think I have 2 that are a little slower, 1 that's really ramping it up. So the options are just so varied. It's really weird. Also, I did not like walking through there. It felt haunted. It felt like I was desecrating the grave of a loved one. But I gave them my money, so here we are. Now I'm gonna go over some more general crafting stuff. Mine ran out of bags, so they gave me shipping envelopes as bags instead. Nice to have some crafting supplies on hand, especially for a deep discount. This, not a crafting supply, it's just a metal headband. I used it for a photo shoot, so I have that. It was like 75 cents. No! The lid came off of some glitter. I got glitter all over my carpet. Oh no. Oh no. Everything's covered in glitter. Oh, that's bad. That's not good. Well, I got some orange glitter, so you didn't see that. Is that worth it? I don't think so. Ooh, I have not had a glitter-related accident in crafting for a long time. It's not great. Okay. It could be worse. You know what could have spilled? The 2 bottles of UV resin that I bought discounted at 60%. This is the only resin they had left in the store. I knew I was going to be resin casting for my upcoming Freya cosplay, so I wanted to get some resin. These are normally $30 and they were discounted to $11, and that is a pretty good price for resin. So I have those. The glitter that has just ruined my day is going to go in that resin. So to go with that resin, I also got some resin pigments. It's amber, white, and black. Again, very cheap and handy to have. And a silicone mixing cup, also nice for resin. I wanted to try and think ahead to future projects, and something that if you are using resin that can come in handy is a variety of silicone molds. So I invested heavily into silicone molds. So the lighting changed drastically. I got the silicone molds that were next to like the UV resin that are definitely meant to go in there. So this is a bracelet mold. I got this gemstone mold. This one has really varying shapes. Again, these were like to $3. I also went and checked out the food section because you don't have to limit yourself to the crafting section when you're going into the clearance sale of the Joann Fabrics. This is a fondant mold for cake, and it has a lot of really cool kind of braided looking effects. So this would be great for filling with like foam clay or hot glue to add to armor. And then just some basic circle-y shapes. So this one is some flat circles, some discs, if you will. And this is just a couple of different half spheres. These are just gonna be used for resin. I'm not gonna use them for food or anything. If you put resin in something, don't eat out of it ever again. I also got these sphere ice cube molds. I don't know if I will ever use these for resin specifically, but they were on clearance for $2.97 and then an additional 60% off of that. So sometimes you buy stuff just to buy stuff. Is that wise? No, but here we are. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm working on Freya from God of War, so I got a collection of pheasant feathers, and I think these are like seagull feathers, but we got feathers. Also covered in bling. Oh, it's bright again. My location was totally out of thread. They had some zippers and bias tape, but honestly, the prices on Wawak are still better. I got 3 packages of pink bias tape just for convenience, but I could have left these behind. I recently acquired a silhouette vinyl cutter, and it is brand new, so it needs absolutely nothing. But the things like the cutting mats and the blades, they are consumables, so I bought one of each just for the future. I didn't want to go too crazy, because like, there's a difference between being like prepared for the future and being like crazy about it. I didn't need to be crazy about it, so I just got one of each. Tried to be responsible. For general crafting supplies, I'm a big fan of these paint markers. I use them a lot for weathering, especially on 3D prints. So I got 2 packs of a gold and silver and then a pack of 2 of just the white. I love these. I also got some paint brushes. I got some regular old paint brushes and then these sponge brushes. These foam brushes are technically disposable. I wash mine out after every use and try to reuse them a lot, but they do get ratty eventually, so having a stash of these is nice. Also for Aloy, maybe even Freya, I got just 2 little loops of leather cord. And then, boy howdy, did I go a little bit hog wild in the jewelry section. Some of these things are for Freya, like these kind of oil slick looking beads. I think they will look neat in her hair. But most of this is for Pirate Jester, because Jester is an accessorized girl. We have some silver ring bases, just a plain gold chain, a little clearance stone pendant. I mostly wanted the tassel from this. This very adorable butterfly chain. A bee pendant, of course. This like already finished blue stone bracelet. Some little birthstone charms. It's missing 2. It was missing 2 at the store, but this was the only one left. And again, deeply discounted, so I was like, whatever, I don't care. And then some more beaded chains. I got a couple of plant pots, but those aren't cosplay related. That's for a different hobby. My husband put it best because I was saying that I really wasn't sure if I wanted to go buy anything from Joann's closing. I didn't really want to give into like the panic buy and like spending money frivolously, but he said, you know what? Joann's is only gonna go out of business once, and things are about to get a lot more expensive, so if you can save money, do it. He's right. I'm gonna share with you my total, and I'm gonna need you to be cool about this, okay? $552.62. Is that a lot of money? Yes. This is money I already had earmarked for cosplay, so I just spent it now instead of spending it in the future. I think it can be very uncomfortable to talk about money on the internet and also in the context of cosplay because budgets for making cosplay vary so much. But in case you were curious, that is how much I spent. And I've appreciated other cosplayers posting how much they have spent on the Joann's closure sale, because we're all sad. And sometimes when you're sad, you have to spend some money on a place that you love dearly. I think my Joann still has a couple weeks left on it. I will not be going back. I bought all the fabric I want. If I go back when things are like 90% off, there's not going to be anything left for me there that I really want. And like I said, I only wanted to buy things I really wanted. And I think I accomplished that. Is your Joann Fabrics still open? Have you bought anything? Are you going to buy anything? What's left at yours? Is it 20 bolts of rayon fabric? So Joann Fabrics, I will miss you. I hated how much you marked everything up so aggressively much. I hated how you were always understaffed. and your workers were always overwhelmed. Your bathrooms were never great. You stocked way too much quilting cotton and fleece, and polar fleece. Nobody is ever going to use that much fleece, guys. What were you doing? But I will always appreciate that I had a place to go get fabric and notions, and the workers were always nice, despite how overworked they are. I loved your Pont de Roma fabric. That's some of my favorite. I loved that you had the cosplay fabric line. I'm glad that that has gotten rehomed, but I will still miss being able to touch all those things in person and see them on the bolt. And I really enjoyed walking through the bead aisle because it was so brightly lit and fun in there. And yeah, it's gonna change cosplay and sewing pretty much for forever, because there's other craft stores. They're not the same. Goodbye, Joann Fabrics. I know you are already gone and are owned by a liquidator company. I hope they enjoy the $500 that I gave them. Normally I do crafting content, so if you're interested in that, I just finished a Jinx build, and I am working on my upcoming Freya cosplay, and that you will see a little bit later. But thank you for watching. Thank you for mourning with me. If you want to find me around social media, you can find me on TikTok and on Instagram. I am Oneemilys. If you like crafting content, you can subscribe to my channel. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye!